We are going live. You can't see us, but we are here doing all kinds of things. not not tickling. Norm's like, wait a second. You said we can't do anything crazy on this show, and you open with a tickle joke? Well, you only don't see us because you're not watching me walk and hobble to the stage. Whoa! Did you hear the chair? This is the part of the show where we have a witty banner. It's me and Norm Domek joining me on the main stage today. We'll go to us live now that we're here. You can see us. You can over here. You can see us. Norm can see us. He has to squint a little bit because it's there's a 3-inch monitor 20 feet away from Norm.
I can see it. We're good, man.
I'm going to put up the witty banter warning.
We are some handsome men.
Yeah, I mean, I count for the weight of 2 men. How we doing, everybody out there? If you're watching live, let us know where you're watching from. And if you're in the audience, you can also watch along. That's one of the things about this theater that's pretty cool is when you buy an in-person ticket, you also get the virtual ticket. So if you were sitting in the chairs here and you wanted to go next door to the bar and get a beer, you could pull up the show, walk next door, and not miss a thing and still get a beer.
Absolutely. It's a cool setup you have here, man. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Oh, there it is. Let's see. Theta. Oh, I have it wrong there. This is our witty pre-show banter. I'll put up the little warning on the those of you watching on the live stream, you'll know that this is witty pre-show banter. We're just getting started while people join us. We're hanging out. We went this morning over to Harvest Moon and got some coffee.
Good coffee.
We got the Guatemalan Dark. Theta Wave Blue Media. Did I spell blue wrong? I'm about to get my glasses on. It's going to be embarrassing.
Well, it's like blue cheese. You can spell blue different ways. Yeah. So you just say it's French.
Blue, like crew for Motley Crue.
Right.
You should put the 2 little dots over the U.
What's that called? Umlauts?
Umlauts.
Isn't that what it's called? I think.
Welcome to the English Masters Show, everybody. Oh, yeah. The K, the L was a K. That's how bad my eyes are right now. So those of you watching, we are testing a new format of the show. This is week number 3 of this new format. And I really think it's a whole new element to the show where instead of me just reading the news, I have a very experienced, we had Maria Daniels last week. Norm is here this week. Somebody with as much or even most of the times more experience than I have in marketing and production to give insight on some of these stories that we find throughout the week. So looking forward to hearing Norm's perspective. And I don't joke around. I was showing Norm before the show. I literally go through 1,000 stories a week to find the 6 ones that are related to the show. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I think we're putting something together here that's different than what's in the market now for podcasting. And I think it offers value to business owners. If any of you at home have seen any of the shows, there's nuggets in here that you can implement in your own business.
And I'm amazed at the amount of work that you do behind the scenes. And I appreciate you pulling the curtain back literally over there in the control room and letting me see all of the things that you do and the way that you do it. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
Norm has the secret sauce. Theta Wave Blue Media can implement some of these strategies for you. We'll give the links in the show notes. We'll plug this during the show. This will just be during the live stream, but check out Norm. Check out Theta Wave Blue Media, and just see what all the things you offer. We'll talk about during the show, but the quote of the Amazon of marketing services, right? An agency that can do, was it 30?
We have 36 different departments.
36 departments. So if you have an issue in marketing, Norm can help you find it. If there was a problem, Norm solves it.
No. Well, it's not just marketing that we do. We help people write books. We help creators create is the easiest way to say that. And so whatever somebody's vision is, we figure out what that looks like. What does success look like for the client or potential client? And then we kind of work backwards in ways that make sense and meet them where they are and move forward in ways that are going to be achievable. So, and comfortable for the client too.
Awesome. Theta Wave Blue Media.
That's it.
I'll never mess it up.
No, never. Okay. Hopefully I won't mess it up either.
Yeah. A lot of pressure for this episode. We're remembering our names is a big part of it. Remembering our company names, Poduty.com and ThetaWaveBlueMedia.com. All the way?
That's it.
All the way. All 4 words.com. What else you got? Anything else exciting?
There's so much exciting things. Just being here is exciting. Yeah. This is an amazing place for people who have never been to the Poduty Podcast Studio. I really, really recommend that you come out. There are a lot of free events. There are some paid events. Every one is worth it. Spend 10, 15, 20 bucks on a ticket for some of these shows that come up. There are magicians. There are comic shows. There are paranormal shows that happen here. There's all kinds of different things. So check the Poduty website and get your butt in the seat, because it is really a lot of fun. You can watch from home, but the energy in the studio really is something exciting. So I come on out. It's fun. It's fun.
And Norm's been on the stage a couple times for our Pittsburgh podcast meetup. He's joined me for some Q&A. Mm-hmm. Did his own show, a season 1 wrap party. How did that go? Like, what was that experience like?
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. And I still get messages and people saying how wonderful that the event was. We had full catering here. We had some wonderful people. Everything was just so nice. And I've had people tell me that they've never seen an event like that here before. So what do you say about that?
Yeah, that was our largest podcast event to date. That was the most food, that could fit in here. I mean, Norm did it up. Like, the catering for that event, there was pulled pork, brisket. The sides were crazy. There was dessert or cookie trays, charcuterie board. Like, it was no joke. So when Norm wraps season 2, you better be here. You better support for it. I think it was a $20 ticket. Right? Was that about
$20? Yep.
$20. It was a 2-hour show, along with an hour of included food. There was beverages. Yeah. Like, it was top notch. Red carpet rolled out for your fans all the way, and definitely well worth the $20. Like, that was a steal. I think they were stealing money from me at $20.
Well, hey, it was fun, and I'm glad we could do it. We are now in 18 countries, the podcast, and thousands of listeners, and it really is a lot of fun. The show that we're talking about is The Gateway to the Unknown. It's a paranormal podcast, and it was just for that particular podcast. I produce other podcasts as well. That's the only one that I am on, just because my friend said, hey, help me create a podcast. I did, and then he's like, well, I also need you next to me when we record. And so I'm doing that, and it really is a lot of fun. So, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to come and do that here.
Well, all I do is give the space. You bring the entertainment, and you brought it that night well beyond what this theater was built for. That was a pretty impressive event.
Oh, thank you very much. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Well, I don't have any other questions. Norm, are you ready to start the show?
I'm ready. I've been ready, man. This is such an exciting opportunity.
I'm going to take down our witty banter warning then. Norm has approved.
And I've also promised to be on my best behavior. So if you know me and know my online on-air personality, I'm going to try to be a little bit more tame this time. I'm going to give it the old college try here.
The old Tarentum try, they call that. It's like, you just barely, like, if you can get past the railroad tracks before the train comes, that's a pretty good effort in Tarentum.
Okay, yeah. That's it. And we might hear a train coming while we're doing this episode, right?
That is correct. Get my video ready. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Poduty in the News for Saturday, October 4th. It's Poduty and the crew. I've got Norm Domek joining me. We're talking Prof G, Scott Galloway, rugby, and the Diary of the CEO in movie theaters.
Streaming to the masses, the podcast ignite. Cinema screens and rugby under the lights. From Conan to BBC, the headlines are clear. The future of podcast is already here. With Jeff Revilla hosting, the stories break
What time is it?
What time is it?
It's time for Poduty and the News, the only live news podcasting about live podcasting from the stage. It's Saturday, October 4th. We've got 6 great stories. We are live at the Poduty Live Podcast Theater in downtown Tarentum, right on Corbett Street, right in the heart of Tarentum, right by the railroad tracks, Tarentum Station, and the Praha Bar. We're right here. We just found out across the street they're renovating this huge building. There'll be a rec center coming in the next year. There'll be rooms to rent. You have banquets. There'll be, I think, a church in there as well. So a lot of things are happening in Tarentum, and nothing short than just having my guest here, very special guest, Norm Domek from Theta Wave Blue Media is here.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, Norm has been a part of a lot of events around here. If you're a regular to the Pittsburgh podcast meetups, or we did the global podcast meetup once, Norm's been here. He's hosted his own events here and joined me from some Q&A on stage before. But now, the second guest ever on Poduty in the News, officially welcoming Norm. I guess I did already. Welcome Norman back to the show from the welcoming I just gave him a minute ago.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. It's exciting. I'm excited to be here. This is an exciting place. And I was just thinking again about what you said. This is a live show about podcasting live.
Yeah, it's very meta.
It's kind of a mind, kind of trying to wrap your mind around the concept of that, because no one else is doing this. You are setting the trend.
I like it. I like
you're doing that.
Poduty. So we obviously had this theater idea was in my head for like 7 years, and I was, how do I get it out and see if it's a real thing or not? So we opened this last year, and as I'm doing this, like I kind of felt alone, like on an island. Like, where are all the smaller independents? I see these actors and actresses and comedians, they're filling arenas, and then everybody else who podcasts is in their home studio or in their basement. What's the middle ground? Like, how do we get from our home studios to Madison Square Garden? I think we need places like this so that we can develop those skills, so that we can get plucked, and put on the stage at Madison Square Garden. No one's going from their home studio to a 20,000 seat theater. You've got to build that muscle up. You got to be comfortable in front of an audience. And I think these kind of places are going to start popping up, just like they did with music venues, just like comedy clubs did. There's a market for podcasting, and it's coming fast, because when we started the show, I could barely find stories to talk about. And I wanted to focus on, like, it's not just here in Tarentum. This is happening all around the world. And now we're seeing, I'm showing Norm my surplus of stories. There was 14 in the hopper plus these 6. So maybe we might be going to it 2 times a week. I haven't decided that yet, but there's so much happening in live podcasting. And like you said, it's underrepresented. It's not being covered in a lot of places.
Right. And I do appreciate you showing me everything you showed. I was able to see behind the curtain back there. Your production area is amazing. You have a lot going on here. And for people who have not been here before, please come in and check it out. And check us out online. Check Poduty out online. It's an amazing thing.
Well, I know just enough to be dangerous. That's the secret. Like, I always joke, like, why they don't give gorillas in the zoo hand grenades to play with? They're just smart enough to figure out how to use them.
Right.
That's kind of what this place is. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know enough to be dangerous.
Well, and things change very rapidly with all of the things that are happening with technology, AI being infused. It's kind of baked in everything at this point. So just keeping up is a job unto itself.
And like, I really appreciate having guests, and this isn't to take away from my guests or anything, but showing Norm, like, this is a one-man show. Like, all the stories that get put together, the AI that writes the teleprompter, the music that gets written, I do the editing, but then I showed Norm how I do post-production and social media content, all through AI. Once Norm leaves, like, I kick in, do all the post-production. This is something that anybody can do if you have the right tools at your disposal.
And without those tools, if this were 20 years ago, this would be a 30, 40 person operation.
Yeah.
Really. The graphic arts, you do everything.
Yeah, I do
everything.
All the slides. The one thing that came out during the Stephen Colbert cancellation was one of the problems with his show on CBS was it takes 200 people to produce an episode a night. Now they're producing 5 very high level episodes, but the cost to produce that with just the staff of 200 people, that's substantially more than the 2 of us sitting here today. So, these types of things, and now I'm not at CBS level quality. I don't have $1 million cameras, but this isn't that far off. I say, like, this isn't that far off from Saturday Night Live, which is a stage in front of an audience that can broadcast to the world. Like, this theater is Rockefeller Center, like where they record Saturday Night Live. It's not much different other than the size and the capacity and the talent. Maybe I'm no Will Ferrell.
Well, hey, I'm a little bit of a local celebrity, but I'll, whatever.
Like, well, Norm, we'll get into your plugs at the end, but real quick, what's the best way people want to reach out to you, connect with you, get in touch with Theta Wave Blue Media?
Well, our website is thetawavblue.com. So that's a good one. We'll have some links in the show notes too, so don't have to worry about anything. We try to keep things as easy as possible for the client. So just whatever is easy. We'll have some links in the show notes. You can click that. We're easy to find. We're easy to talk to. We'll take you out for coffee. We'll take you out for lunch. Whatever it is that's going to help us understand what you need as a client. So we just want to hear your vision, and we'll meet you where you're at in terms of what you would like to do, and we just take it from there and we move forward in ways that make sense. Just that easy.
Very nice.
What you see is what you get with us.
We'll have Norm's links in the show notes. And one of the things about Poduty and the crew on Saturday morning, we're going to get coffee from local coffee shops, and the closest one to the theater here is a place called Harvest Moon. And we walked down earlier, got some coffee. And if you're at home watching right now, enjoy your coffee, listen to these stories, and see if any of these ideas you can implement in your business. Are you able to do and recreate some of these things, whether you're here in Pittsburgh at our Tarentum theater or somewhere local? There's places near you that will certainly and gladly host live entertainment. Even most of your libraries have media rooms or small theaters on certain levels. You have bars, you have coffee shops. They're looking for ways to bring people in. And if something you hear here today resonates with you, maybe reach out to some of these local businesses and, hey, can I do a live show at your establishment? Maybe you'll get free coffee from Harvest Moon.
Yeah, it's good coffee too. And they had there was something that we had for breakfast. What was the name of it?
They make hand pies.
Pies.
They're like empanadas kind of, but they're breakfast empanadas. So this one was spinach, egg, and cheese in like this puff, like was that a puff pastry?
This was like puff pastry, yes.
Oh, they are good, and they have a little picante sauce on the side. Kick it up a notch, as Emerald Lagasse would say.
Yeah, it was good. Very good. Everything's so fresh, so good. Harvest Moon, check them out.
Awesome. So, Norm, are you ready for our first story tonight?
I am ready.
I say tonight as in I'm so used to recording at night, so I say, hey, yes. Let's get into our first story.
Before we do that, I'm going to comment on your voice. You have an awesome announcing voice. I do have to say that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I've heard that before, and I really do appreciate it. I was terrified of my voice for years. Like, I did my first podcast in 2011 with this great girl who ended up leaving the area and went to be the marketing director for Ghirardelli Chocolate. So you talk about the level that I was hanging out with. Like this, she was a serious marketer, and she ran Ghirardelli's marketing team for a while. But I don't my voice. I don't want to hear myself. We certainly didn't do video back in 2011. And then in 2015, I launched my trivia show, and I really cringy. Like, I just never liked my voice. I didn't like hearing it. But through the years, I've gotten unexpectedly gotten so many compliments on it. Like, I was like, I'm from Pittsburgh. I lisp a little bit. Like, it's like, what doesn't make any sense? I have to think to slow down, because I'll get real excited. I'll start talking really fast because I'm from Pittsburgh, and I don't,
right.
So there's a lot goes into this, and I never expected it. I've had people, and I think this is a compliment. They listen to my trivia show to help them fall asleep. They say, you have like a really soothing voice. Like, it's you calm me down, and like it's masculine, yet it's like there's no threat in your voice. I'm like, I think that's a compliment, right?
It's very smooth and sultry and comforting.
Oh, hey,
There you go.
yeah. I feel like I always feel like I'm very sarcastic. Like I could be saying like the most serious thing in the world, but it comes out like it's like I don't know, maybe not.
Hey. You sound good, man. You sound good.
Well, thank you. That means it's time.
It's time.
We're going to the first story
All
tonight.
right.
Today at 10 a.m. in the morning. We've got Swisher and Galloway hit the road. Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway are taking their hit podcast Pivot on the road for their very first live tour, kicking off November 8th in Toronto. The week-long run will bring the duo's sharp mix of politics, tech, business, and business talk to cities like Boston, Brooklyn, DC, Chicago, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. While the pair have held live events before, this marks their first official tour, with each show built around news of the day, big tech accountability, and themes tied to Galloway's upcoming book. Keep that in mind. There's a little promotion here, a tour going on. The move comes right after Pivot's landmark Vox Media deal that gives Swisher and Galloway 70% of revenue from their podcast portfolio, a revenue split that could change the way podcast talents negotiate. For fans, the tour means more than headlines. It's a chance to see two of the most influential voices in podcasting tackle hot topics live and in real time. So I think there's a couple things going on here that are pretty interesting. Obviously, podcast with a live show, taking it to their audience. Great. But what else is Scott doing on the back end of this?
That's 70%, man.
There's
some win-wins in this.
Yeah. There's some win-wins. They got the 70% they negotiated, which is a huge deal. You don't get that from your Spotify's and your YouTube's. 70% is huge. So they're taking control of their media. We've heard that recently in the media with Taylor Swift owning all her music, her distribution rights. So this is now moving into how we negotiate as independent creators. But Scott's also releasing a book. So he's tying in his podcast audience with something you help creators do, is create books. So he's releasing a book while on tour. So he's doing a book tour masquerading as a live podcast event to connect with his audience, maybe move some more product, get that book in front of the right people. So there's a great little business tie in here, I see.
So podcast producers and writers and the talent really have the opportunity to control so much more right out of the gate. And that includes the intellectual property and all the merch. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, they get the merch. And the type of content that we're creating right now, very independent, very DIY. Like this whole production from start to finish, I would own it, right? I created it, I own it, I distribute it. And as this thing grows, also so does me. Like I'm going to grow with this thing. I'm going to have the intellectual property rights. I'm going to be able to distribute this. If somebody wants to license it for a radio show, release it on a Sunday morning, like as a replay, I have that opportunity and I don't have to answer to anybody. And that's the beauty of podcasting, is you really become your own media conglomerate. Like these are things that I own, and these are assets that belong to me. I don't know, that sounds kind of weird when I say that, but like the trivia show that I run, this show, my guest tonight, these are things that I'm building that nobody can tell me what to do with.
And for anybody that may be 50 or older that's listening to this, Phil Donahue was the first talk show. That's kind of what's happening here, really. So anybody who wants to have their own show like Phil Donahue, this format will give you an opportunity to do that. And you could do it right here at Poduty.
Yeah. Or Morton Downey Jr., you can throw the chairs at me from the audience. We can do the old riot, in-studio riot.
Was that started with a G?
Or was that Geraldo?
Geraldo. Yeah.
I think Morton Downey probably had a riot or two in his state.
I'm sure.
But, think about this. If you're in whatever niche you're in, like last week we had accountants that were going on tour. If you're a baker, if you have a small business, if you have a service, there's probably a podcast for the audience that you're already serving. And if there's not, why aren't you that podcast for the audience that you're serving?
That's a Great sentiment.
Let's go to story number 2. We're going to the Media Production and Technology Show. They're adding a creator stage, a podcast studio, and a networking bar. This is, again, here's one of these events that we've been talking about. And what do they keep adding? Stuff around podcasting. Are you paying attention yet, people? Because here we go. The Media Production and Technology Show is pulling out all the stops for its 10th anniversary in 2026, debuting new features that spotlight creators and podcasters like never before. The show will launch a brand new creator stage, giving influencers, short-form video makers, and brand collaborators a dedicated platform for panels, fireside chats, and live strategy sessions. For podcast fans, the MPTS is adding a live podcast studio where attendees can see shows recorded on site and hear directly from some of the biggest voices in on-demand audio. And for those who love to connect, the event is expanding its upstairs gallery to include a new networking bar, creator lounge, offering informal spaces for collaboration and community building. It's all part of MPS's mission to stay ahead of the curve, showing that podcasting, creator culture, and networking are at the heart of the future of media.
That says so much. It used to be with the small businesses, it used to be networking after hours, where you had a pile of business cards and you kind of made your way around the room, hoping for a conversation to end, or you would kind of try to slide in. And it was just a little bit awkward, a little bit more, I don't want to say sedate, but it wasn't as exciting as this concept is here.
Yeah. I think one of the things that people who hold events are noticing is that they need to hire entertainment for their guests, right? People are there for 3, 4, 5 days, 8 hours a day doing sessions, doing all these things, and they bring in magicians, musicians, comedians to entertain them during the show on maybe side stages or the main stage. But I think what's happening here is these conferences realize if some of our entertainment is podcasting that people want to see, maybe they're fans in that industry, they want to see them up on stage talking with each other. I think they're realizing that if they let them record their show live from the floor or live from the stage, when they release that show, that's just free advertising for next year's conference. So I think that we're seeing that, hey, for entertainment, we can pick up these podcasters, bring them into the event, let them release the show raving about this year's show to boost ticket sales for next year. I think there's a strategy play here for long-term growth.
What an interesting time we live in. It's amazing to me because, commercials used to be, the Dairy Queen commercials where the chocolate's rolling down and things like that. And they made you hungry for, whatever, banana splits or whatever. But this is a different thing. Yeah. And it really is a sign of the times. And it really is something that fits in today's day and age.
Yeah, you're matching the content with the people who are at this event. They're getting cutting edge information from the live podcast. And now, instead of buying TV ads or newspaper ads or magazine ads to come to our show next year, I got a team of podcasters releasing episodes talking about how great the event was. And they'll probably promote next year when we invite them back. They're like, hey, we'll be there. You guys should be there. Meet up. We'll have a meetup. We'll have a special event based around this event.
And it's more relevant. And it increases the quality of relationships. And the whole thing overall is just so much more optimistic.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is the rising tide lifts all ships. This is that in action. Whereas our conference is growing, we're bringing the podcasters with us, we're bringing the entertainment with us, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It keeps feeding itself.
It is super exciting. I love it.
Speaking of exciting, we're going to rugby. The BBC Women's Rugby scores big with fans and podcasts. There's going to be a little side. There's a one-liner in this article that I pulled out that is pretty impressive, and you'll see it here in a second. The BBC Sport just set a new record, drawing 3.3 million viewers for England's Women's Rugby World Cup semi-final against France, the biggest audience ever for a women's rugby union match in the UK. But it wasn't just the TV numbers that broke through. Digital coverage hit nearly 100 million page views, with 36 million video views on social channels. And here's where it gets exciting for us. The BBC Radio 5 live spin-off podcast, Barely Rugby, has already pulled in 1.3 million views across social media since launching during the tournament. It's proof that live sports plus companion podcasts are a powerful combo, giving fans more ways to stay connected beyond the game itself. And this is a live event that's happening. This isn't quite a live podcast, but there is a live event happening, and from that, they're spinning off a podcast that people can take anywhere with them. They can listen on their morning commute. They can get a recap of the game. They can relive the game that they watched. Maybe it was the craziest thing they ever saw, and now there's a supplemental podcast to fill in between the games.
And to me, this seems like it would be after the game where you're interviewing the coaches, you're talking to the players, and you're kind of getting a recap of the game and how they felt and what, all of that. But this is adding that element of entertainment and empowerment and education kind of all rolled into one, where it's really captivating these listeners.
Yeah, look, the 3.3 million viewers live, 100 million page views, 36 million video views, and then they're spinning off a podcast that's which got 1.3 million listens or views since the tournament launched. So, amazing job! Like, what a way to capitalize on an event and extending your reach. This is another way a business can extend their reach through this supplemental podcast, talking about the thing that those 100 million page views. Those people love rugby. Here's another thing that we can keep them entertained with.
And think about the additional sales that would come from that, because you're getting additional exposure. So the numbers for the jerseys, you're going to get any merch, even mouth guards and other apparel, all that stuff is being talked about or sold in some way. It's amazing. That is amazing to me. These numbers are crazy.
For any sponsors out there, we will sell the licensing to our mouth guards. Every time we smile, it says Coca-Cola. We can negotiate the price on that.
You can get the Nike haircut, the little
like a swoosh cut.
Yeah, the swoosh cut.
Yeah. Keeping it with sports, we're going to go to the Ole Miss Sports Connects Wraps with NFL Power Player on live podcast. I have no idea what that headline meant, but at the University of Mississippi, the School of Journalism and New Media hosted its IMC Sports Connect, where alumni and industry leaders shared insights on careers, networking, and breaking into sports media. The panel featured voices from CBS Sports, NFL Films, and more, but the big finale came when Chase Parham of MPW Digital recorded a live podcast interview with Renee Anderson?
Yes.
Renee?
Rennie. It looks like Rennie to me.
Rennie Anderson, the NFL's executive VP and CRO, or as we know it, Chief Revenue Officer. Anderson shared her journey from intern doing laundry runs to one of the league's top decision makers, dropping gems about sponsorships, Madden, and even everyone's favorite football news, Taylor Swift. It was a night where students got a front row seat to both career advice and live podcasting in action. And unfortunately, their website doesn't let me get a nice picture of this panel, but they had a real nice stage, a big screen behind them, a very active panel, and it was a great lineup, a great setup for the students to come into the auditorium and get like first-rate information from the NFL of, how did all these things work? How do these pieces go together? How do you make decisions? And why does this decision affect that? So as far as an education point of view, this is a way to connect with students about their future and maybe some of the things that they'll be working at in their jobs in the future.
And I think this is groundbreaking as well, because there are career fairs all over all the time. My wife's putting together one right now where people will come from other places to go to the company that may be hiring. But this is a whole different ball of wax. This digital component to this career fair. How amazing. Again, win for, straight across the board for the people who are breaking into the industry, the industry themselves, and all of the other tangent industries, again, with the sales, because they talked about the chief revenue officer. So the bottom line really is the bottom line. It's talking about how are we going to make a profit through all of this. whether it's, getting the people to come work or sales or a combination of all of that. So this is exciting as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking your industry to the future of the industry and giving them that information, having a back and forth exchange. And what do you walk away with at the end of it? A piece of media, right? They came and recorded a podcast. So now that event is captured, it's logged and released as a future episode where the NFL can probably run sponsorship ads, or they can sell sponsorship ads to Coca-Cola, who's going to be sponsoring our mouth guards every time we smile.
Oh, wow.
All right, this is an interesting one. Again, this is, we're talking about live podcasts, and this is kind of a live podcast because it's going to be playing live in a theater probably as a recording. I don't think as a live event. But Lewis Tomlinson taking podcasting to the big screen on Diary of the CEO, and this is for the first time ever. The Regal Theaters is turning a podcast into a cinematic event. The Diary of a CEO with host Stephen Bartlett will feature a world-exclusive conversation with singer-songwriter Lewis Tomlinson, screened in select Regal and Cineworld theaters coming up on October 8th. From his early days and One Direction fame to personal loss and the pressures of celebrity, Tomlinson opens up in ways fans haven't seen before. This one-night-only premiere transforms podcast listening into a shared cultural experience, offering audiences the chance to learn, laugh, and connect together on the big screen before the episode drops worldwide. And a lot of people don't know this, but theaters don't just play movies. They can host live events. They can actually host pay-per-views. I've seen different things. You go to the theater to watch an event live. They have the technology to live stream to the theaters. And this is a podcast, very popular YouTube channel. I think of it more as a YouTube channel, The Diary of a CEO, than I do as a podcast, but I guess it also is a podcast. They have a huge audience that they've amassed, and they're going to release a future episode. You go to the theater with other fans of The Diary of the CEO, and you're going to watch an episode live with people who have been watching this show for years by themselves. Now you're bringing the community together. Does this set the stage for a tour later on, like our first story with Prof G, Scott Galloway? I don't know. But it's a great thing to start doing with your audience, is connecting them in the community. Get them out of the house, right? Get them to the theater, and let's have a shared experience.
They're trying to get to what you're already doing. Think about that. You've already done this. They're saying first time ever, but you've been doing this before that. So good for you.
I haven't done it in the theater yet, so we're looking at you, AMC. I guess
we could do it. The next episode, we'll see if AMC will be on board with this.
Where's who does everyone makes fun of her, the AMC Music Experience actress that like walks through the theater with her hands in her pocket. I think she was Tom Cruise's old wife, blonde, not a Kim. Somebody leave it in the comments.
Moulin Rouge.
No,
what's her
not Michelle Pfeiffer. Kidman, Nicole Kidman.
That's it. When I think of Moulin Rouge, I think of Nicole Kidman. So
yeah, Nicole Kidman's like, oh, movies are so great, and it's like a weird thing to watch before you're already at the movie, and she's selling you on going to the movies. Yeah. Like I'm the last one doing this in America. So. Awesome. So just again, these 5 stories so far have been different ways to position podcasts that people don't think about. They think about recording it at home, releasing an MP3 file, and having it pop into people's apps on their aggregator with, oh, hey, Jeff has a new podcast. There is so much more happening in podcasting, and these first 5 stories are telling the story. And our last one today on Sirius XM, they've declared October is podcast month. And Sirius XM is turning the entire month of October into a coast-to-coast podcast party, from Conan O'Brien at the Fonda Theater in Los Angeles to Freakonomics Radio and Katie Nolan lighting up the NYC Fishbowl. Fans can attend exclusive live tapings all month long. Big names like The Bonfire, Nikki and Bree Show, and How Did This Get Made will also hit the stage, giving subscribers a rare chance to be part of the recording experience. It's a nationwide celebration of podcasting, proving once again that podcasts aren't just for earbuds, they're for the live stage too. Who would have known?
Who would have known?
And obviously, September 30th is International Podcast Day. That kind of kicked off this event. We went from International Podcast to Podcast Month, all month long, with SiriusXM doing these live events. What are they doing? They're bringing podcasts to live audiences. What a concept!
And think about that. It was a podcast day, one day, and then everybody saw the potential. And Sirius said, "Let's do a whole month of that. One whole month."
It's hold my beer.
Hold my beer.
We're going to do a full month of live podcasting. And just another example of podcasting has changed, right? We used to get upset 7 years ago when YouTube started changing the definition of a podcast, because old people like me would say it's an MP3 distributed through an RSS feed to an aggregator app where somebody subscribes and downloads your episode. That was the definition of a podcast. Hands down, no variants up until like 2015, 2016. But YouTube said, hey, you know what? I think podcasts could be video, and we're going to just push videos and call those podcasts. And we've seen that definition erode over the last 10 years or so. And now you're seeing it really bubble up. Like, what really is a podcast? It's just something you create. It's well beyond just an audio file. We're talking these live events. We're talking conferences. We're talking connecting with the community. And we're talking about what we're doing right here on the stage, which is live broadcast podcast. This is the future. There's no way around it. The evolution of podcasting is coming to the stage.
100% correct. There was a lot there.
Yeah.
There was a lot there.
I hope it was a coherence.
It was. So with all of that said, how would you define a podcast?
Yeah, I used to be bullheaded, and I was the MP3 through an RSS to an aggregator app, and it had to have that element somewhere in its distribution. But the way I look at it now, like, yes, you can watch us live on Facebook, live on YouTube. We have a private streaming link you can watch it on, leave comments, interact. But I will take this finished product and I'll chop out the witty banter at the beginning, where we were talking about tickling Norm.
I don't think anybody heard that.
I think they did.
Okay.
Oh dear. And then, but all they'll know is that somewhere on the internet exists that audio. But it really is, a podcast really is something you create. It's something that has some sort of exchange, maybe of information and of entertainment value. It doesn't just have to be an audio. It's your show. Really, a podcast is a show. Whether it's an audio show, a video show, it's media that you own as an independent creator. I will accept any of those things. I still like to see it in a podcast app. Like, I would love it that, like, this will still get downloaded, edited into a clean video, edited into clean audio for podcast distribution. So in my mind, I'm meeting that requirement. I think it should still be available on demand as an MP3 file somewhere. But I'll accept that some podcasts just exist on YouTube.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I've realized it doesn't matter. Do I have to be that big-headed about what the definition of a podcast is? Or can I just celebrate that in 2025, people everywhere have the power to compete against ABC, NBC, CBS, cable televisions? Like, we have TV stations in our houses now. We have the technology to broadcast, and we can do things on levels that we couldn't do 20 years ago. We can do that now. And if you're going to create something, you want to call it a podcast, I'm going to support it. I'm going to help you probably get to an MP3 file, but whatever you create, I'm 100% down with now. And that's kind of how I'm looking at this, as an entertainment play. And in some cases, some podcast stories that we do, they don't even record it. They're just doing a live experience for the people that show up, and it will never exist again.
Oh, wow.
Is that still a podcast? Right? Like,
Right.
that, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
but that's a podcast doing a live show. They're just not recording it. So that episode is like a gray area, right? But it's still their podcast. And
you said the word celebrate. And I think I think we should also celebrate the fact that whatever is taking place, a podcast, a show, live streaming, whatever it may be in those parameters, there's an audience that's enjoying it. And that really is the biggest part that should be celebrated.
Yeah, get out of the house.
Get out of the
Enjoy the community. You have a vibrant community in your neighborhood. You have great people in your neighborhood. You have people who have like interests that you have. So if you see an event that's maybe a trivia podcast or a news podcast or a sports podcast, or they're just baking on stage, like procrastinating, just
What's that word?
procrastinating.
Okay.
Go support them. Go say hi. Get out of the house. Get off the phone. Get off the streaming apps. Go do something, and you'll be so much more enriched hanging out with people in real time, in real life, and sharing a passion with people.
And enjoying that same experience.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
It's like a concert.
Yeah.
Right. You can listen to the song on the radio by yourself, but it's a whole lot more fun with other people enjoying that same thing. That energy is just different.
Unless you sit behind somebody who screams louder than then it's just a tough night. Speaking of tough nights, we're recording this on October 4th, which we have a Pittsburgh podcast meetup tonight. You're not going to know that because it's going to get released after, unless you're watching live. But we're announcing the next one, November 1st, 2025. These are live meetups in the theater. We get about 15, 20 podcasters show up. I buy pizza, drinks. We celebrate podcasts. We exchange information. We pass out business cards. And then at 7 o'clock, we live stream the event. We do Q&A. You can type in your own questions. We will answer it. I may not answer every question. I may have people up on stage with me, people in the audience of all different skill levels. We probably have 70% new podcasters, 30% very experienced. We'll give you different perspectives of your problems, your challenges, and we'll help you get through them. It's one of my favorite events that we do.
And it's a lot of fun, and it is very, very, very enriching. There are any questions that you have will get answered. And there are people, there's no gatekeeping, what they call gatekeeping. People will share information because they want to see you succeed like they've succeeded. And there's a big collaboration. I have seen people who were brand new and they know a small piece of the puzzle. Somebody else might know another piece of that puzzle. Somebody they know how to record, but they don't know how to get it up and get it distributed. But collectively, all those pieces fit together, and that happens right here at Poduty. So come on out. I've been part of it several times. Absolutely love it. And I honestly don't think I'd be where I am with all of the podcasting that I do, all the writing and the planning and the distribution, if it wasn't for here. This is where I started.
Well, very nice. Speaking of gatekeeping, I am gatekeeping t-shirts. Get your Poduty shirts, 4 sizes, 4 colors, 5 sizes, $10 a shirt. We sell them right here in the theater, and they're selling like crazy. I'm actually surprised. Maybe I have the price too low, but I just want to be out in public, and if I see somebody with a Poduty shirt, I will high five you. Just so you know, it's free high fives with every shirt purchase.
There you go.
We have some upcoming shows if you're interested. Last night, the very first inaugural episode of Anime on the Allegheny, they recorded episode number 1. Live on stage last night. They had in-person audience. They had a live streaming audience. And they've already told me they're going to come back late October. They're hosting a Halloween party, and they're going to announce it at the Halloween party and promote it. And then once we do that, hopefully they have a date before they promote it, but we'll get a date set. Anime on the Allegheny is coming back. And my favorite three-peaters, the Boozy Ghosts, Crips and Corks podcast. They're going to do a haunted Pittsburgh terror, laughs, and booze. Yins won't want to miss this show. This is the 3rd time they've been back. It's probably my favorite show, hands down, that happens on this stage. They go all out. And this time it's all Pittsburgh haunted stories. And not only it's a Halloween party too, so they're dressing up, which they do anyway.
Right.
If you ever watch their show, like they go all in on the dress up. But what they do is they tell you ghost stories, and they pair their stories with a bottle of wine. So like whatever wine, they choose a wine for the show, and it goes with the stories that they're telling. And then they're all in, and it's just an amazing show to experience live. I think tickets are $10, BYOB's $5. It's one show worth drinking at. It's about 90 minutes, and you'll have a great time. There's meet and greet. They sign posters for a couple bucks. You can help support them. Crips and Corks, check them out on YouTube. They have I want to say 100+ episodes where it's just incredible. Check them out. The Bird Cave. It's the Valley Varsity flashbacks with special guests. This is a Pittsburgh area podcast about sports, and they're coming home on the 18th of October to do a school reunion, a class reunion. Prior to the class reunion, they're going to do this podcast and probably pregame a little bit. So apologies to the coordinators of the event later that night. Poduty Podcast Theater is not responsible for the actions of the attendees of this podcast, but a lot of these are two fun guys to talk sports with. Loves Pittsburgh sports. It's October 18th. It's an early show, like at 2 or 3 o'clock. Tickets are $5-10 live stream and in the theater. Tamara is coming back. I met her at the Pittsburgh podcast meetup last month. We booked the show. This is her season 1 wrap up, just like you did, Norm. The Motherhood podcast. It's called, nailed it. The Motherhood podcast. It's live. She's bringing in guests, recaps. All kinds of things are going to happen November 8th. Starting at 6 p.m. And the Humorous podcast, going to be here in 2026. Just getting it out there now, letting people know that keep an eye out for this. They're coming in from like Vermont or Connecticut, and they're going to be passing through to do Where Humor Meets Chaos. And that brings us to our final slide. Norm, you know what that means. It's one final chance to take over the stage and plug, promote, talk about how can people connect with you.
We're going to Theta Wave Blue Media. We're going to have a link in the show notes, and anything you want to talk about, anything creator related, we do have 36 different departments. So anything that you would like to do, we could figure out how to make that happen for you. My first question to you is going to be, what does success look like to you? And then we talk about that vision, and then we work backwards in ways that will create goals, and then we work forwards in ways that make sense. That's how we do it. So.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. All of Norm's links in the show notes. I don't have anything else. Thank you to those who left comments during the live stream. News.poduty.com. You can see 24, 25 episodes of this show. Each show has 6 stories. So do the math. That's over 100 live news podcasting stories we've done so far. And just get the perspective. See what people are doing. See how the definition of podcasting is changing, how it's growing, how it's evolving, how it's bringing the audience into shows that you don't just have to record alone anymore in your mom's basement. You can come to the Poduty Podcast Theater, Poduty.com.
Streaming to the masses, the podcast ignite. Cinema screens and rugby